Netflix about to come up in there and throw a wrench in Paramount-Skydance plans as the company has officially made a move to buy that of Warner Brothers Discovery. Yeah, things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today we have news that Netflix has made a move. Now, we all know that WBD is officially up for sale. Now, we do have those delusional fans out there who truly believe that the studio isn't going to be sold. However, for the smart ones like myself and you watching this video, we all know that this time next year, Warner Brothers Discovery will have a new owner. Now, at this very moment, Paramount-Skydance is in first place. 3 bids in, 3 letdowns. However, in yesterday's video, I explained to you guys why I no longer support Paramount-Skydance buying Warner Brothers Discovery. And if you haven't watched that video, let me explain it to you real shortly. David Ellison wants to use AI to push out content, and he said it himself. All right, that statement lost me, and he immediately lost my support. So with that being said, get out of here, Paramount-Skydance. Now today, we have news that my preferred studio, Netflix, has made a move that is suggesting that they're about to buy the whole damn bank. Now this article is coming from cosmicbooknews.com. It is titled, Netflix Explores Bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Snyderverse fans on alert. Pause. We have to stop this labeling of DC fans. Snyderverse fans are not Snyderverse fans. They are DC fans. See, there's a reason why DC failed for so many years, and it's because they labeled their fan base. All right, they put them in a niche corner without realizing that that's where the money reside. Okay, all right. So this labeling of Snyderverse fans needs to stop. All right, because DC will continue to hurt. You gotta call them fans, bro, and that goes for DC or anyone who intends to buy the company. All right, Netflix is officially exploring a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, and DC fans are buzzing again, especially Snyder fans. According to Reuters, the streamer has hired the same advisory firm that handled the Paramount-Skydance deal and has been granted access to financial data as part of evaluating a possible offer. That means Netflix is seriously looking at Warner Brothers Studios and streaming assets that includes DC. See, fans are rooting again. Fans are feeling good once again. See, the whole entire fan base has been energized, like the Energizer Bunny. You know, boom, 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 boom. A parade of bunnies just with batteries in their backs going up Times Square. Boom, 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 boom. That's what the fan base feels like right now. The timing couldn't be more interesting. Zack Snyder has spent the last few weeks dropping behind-the-scenes images of Henry Cavill's Superman, Ben Affleck's Batman, and Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. It's been one nostalgic hit after another, and fans have taken notice. Ooh. But now, with Snyder suddenly teasing his DC era again at the exact moment Netflix is exploring Warner Brothers Discovery, fans are starting to wonder if he knows something the rest of us don't. I'm pretty sure he does. Nobody is saying the Snyderverse is suddenly happening again. And again, we've been told everyone moved on, but the timing is impossible to ignore. All right, at minimum, Netflix acquiring DC will blast open the creative doors. At maximum, a world where Snyder directs The Dark Knight Returns with aging versions of Batman and Superman isn't impossible. All right, let me get into this. Oh, and by the way, Zack also posted another photo of Ben Affleck's Batman, black and white, looking like Batman, looking so DC. Absolutely beautiful, Zack. All right, but this news is very interesting, and it's very interesting because they're looking at the financial data regarding the studio. Most of the time, when you get that data, you are intending to put a bid in. This is great news for the 4KO. In fact, this is great news for DC fans in general. All right. We all know that DC has been mishandled for quite some time, ever since Zack Snyder left, if you ask me. And many people will probably agree with me on that. DC has been mishandled. All right. Nothing has been done right. The characters doesn't feel like themselves. And not to mention the tone. The tone is just all off with that of the brand. Nothing feels like DC anymore. In fact, we can argue that it feels like Marvel. Everything feels like a Marvel project. And that isn't DC. That isn't DC. Now, as this article points out, Netflix acquiring DC, Warner Brothers, it opens the creative doors. See, right now, creatively, DC is cut off. That's right. They have to follow one man's imagery, and that is James Gunn. When that happens, then it always will fall off. All right. It always will fall off when you have one guy who's a mediocre director at best. And if you ask me, doesn't know how to do superhero films, when he's in charge and he's making all these adjustments, things happens, right? Like The Flash. All right. Blue Beat, all of that, everything he gave notes on. I don't want James Gunn anywhere near Warner Brothers or DC. All right. Now, when it comes to Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers, man, you're talking about exposure to a world that has what? They got 180 million subs, right? And I'm talking about world. When I say world, I'm talking about Netflix. That's a whole entire different world there. All of these brands that WB owns needs this. They needs this. That's right. They need Harry Potter to be relevant again. They need Lord of the Rings to be relevant again. DC, there's so much that Warner Brothers owns at this very moment that isn't getting the attention that it deserves. Mainly DC. All right. Netflix can fix all of that. And not to mention the mindset of Netflix and their ability to, somebody's calling me, and their ability to support fans' ambition is what you want in a studio. You don't want a studio that's going to seemingly ignore everything that you tell them. You want someone to listen. Netflix is that studio. See, Paramount-Skydance using AI, no. Keep them away. Keep them away from Hollywood. In fact, they should be banned. But Netflix should be embraced. That's right. This company has so much money, they can do whatever. They can save any brand out there, or at the very least, take a chance on it. See, every studio doesn't have that ability. But Netflix, the cash flow, man, look, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And talk about the Snyderverse, yeah, I believe that they will restore the Snyderverse. That's right. Zack Snyder is not posting these photos for nothing. Someone has told him something and he knows what's up. If Netflix acquire Warner Brothers, you best believe, and I mean you best believe, they are not going to hesitate to give the fans what they want. So with that being said, come on Netflix, I'm rooting for you and I surely hope that you get this done. Paramount has turned me off. Hell, Universal, I'll take y'all too, right? Anyone other than Paramount-Skydance at this very moment, or Disney. You don't want Disney touching this neither. But Netflix has finally stepped into the game. What about those reports that they were not interested? Goes to show you that the narrative out there doesn't want this to happen because they know what the possibility truly is. Make sure you hype, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you like. And always remember, let's allow bon temps roulette. That means let the good times roll. But in the comments below, let me know, how do you feel about Netflix officially, and I mean officially, making a move to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery? Is this your dream, or do you feel that someone else should be buying the studio? Let me know in the comments below.